I'm able to grow deeper in you. And we're not preaching perfection. We're just preaching, it's that step that you take. That decision whether you want to change or not. That decision whether or not you want to allow Jesus in your heart. So let's just remember that as we worship tonight. Worthy of every song we could ever sing. Worthy of all the praise we could ever bring. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Oh, we live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Oh, we live for you. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Holy Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Oh, we live for you. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Lead me in your love. Lead me in your love. Lead me in your love. And I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation. I will put my trust in you alone. And I will not be shaken. And I will build my life upon your love. It thank you so much for this day, God. I just thank you for the opportunity that we have to be here, God. I just pray that we can truly have that as our prayer tonight, God. That we will not be shaken, Lord. That we will put our trust in you, God. God, I pray that if we have maybe we have a loose foundation, God, and it's not built on you, God. I pray that you can break that tonight, God. God, I pray that you can recenter our hearts so that it goes to you, God. God, I pray that you can focus our eyes back on you. I just pray that we're able to truly come to you, God. That we're able to understand that your love is what attracts us to you, God. Your sacrifice on the cross is what makes it possible for us to come to you. I just pray that our prayer tonight can be so that we can be built in you, God. Even if I hide on the highest mountain, you are there. Where can I run from your presence? Where can I flee from you? No, even if I fall to the lowest valley, you will find me there. Deeper than any ocean, your love goes on and on and on and on. Higher than any mountain, your love goes on and on and on and on. And if I clothe myself in shadow, would I fade away from you? No, even if I fall to the deepest darkness, your love surrounds me still. No, even if I fall to the deepest darkness, your love surrounds me still. Goes on and on and on and on. And higher than any mountain, your love goes on and on and on and on. Deeper than the ocean, and deeper than any ocean, your love goes on and on and on and on. And higher than any mountain, your love goes on and on and on and on and on. There is no ending to love that holds on and won't let go. Love that won't leave me on my own. I'm falling deeper into your love that holds on and won't let go. Love that that will leave me on my own. Oh, deeper than any ocean, your love goes on and on and on and on. Higher than any mountain, your love goes on and on and on and on. Deeper than any ocean, your love goes on and on and on and on. Higher than any mountain, your love goes on and on and on and on. Oh, don't let me go, don't let me go. And love, don't let me go, don't let go. And love, don't let me go, don't let go. And love, don't let go. Love, don't let me go, don't let go. And love, don't let me go, don't let go. Love, don't let go. Love, don't let me go. Deeper than any ocean, your love goes on and on and on and on. Higher than any mountain, your love goes on and on and on and on. Your love goes on and on and on and on. God, I thank you so much for this day, God. I just thank you for holding on to us, God. Even when we feel so far, Lord. Even when we feel like the world's caving in, God. When we feel depression, God. When we feel alone. When we feel anxious. When maybe the love of our lives just broke up with this, God. Our true love never gave up on us. Our true love is still there, God. You're still there, Lord. God, I just pray that tonight we're able to open our minds, God. We're able to truly open our hearts to what you have to say to us, God. And that we don't just take the message for what we want to take it, God, but that we understand that this is coming from you, God. I just pray that we're able to grow deeper and deeper to understanding, God, and to wisdom of you. I just pray that we can see that you're never letting go of us, God. That's what I pray in Jesus' name.
Why is it so close to me? I I don't like this. Can it like better? Can Hey. Oh, oh. There you go. Where's my slides? The slides. Anthony, I'm nothing without my slides. Then you can't have it. Then you don't deserve it. I forgot what was that line that Tony Stark said? Oh, yeah, if you're nothing without the slides, you shouldn't use it. Gotcha. Even though I kind of look like him. Kind, not really. No, I wish. I had to be like 30 years older. All right, welcome back to the place where we belong together. I think there's a song that goes like that. I don't know. So yeah, I can hear that. By the way, guys, I always hear it. I just politely ignore you guys. So thank you. So oh my God, where's my slides? No, I big slides. I don't want my face up there. Okay. So uh, so last week, for those of you who weren't there, we talked about started getting into like the dangers of social media, and today's going to be part two. And next week is going to be the final part of our social media series. So let's jump right in. Let's get started. We need a clicker. I wish I. There you go. So, all right. So, what are some of the dangers of social media today? So, I'm going to get into more practical stuff. So, some of these are kind of obvious, but common sense, unfortunately, is not so common, right, Monique? So, people, for example, people can find things out about you based on what you post online. I mean, kind of like, duh, right? But for some people, I don't think they really understand that, especially because next, uh, even though if you put your settings on social media, say like Facebook or Instagram, on private, doesn't necessarily mean that it's safe, right, Anaida and Tiago? So, uh, private doesn't necessarily mean safe. What do I mean by that? That means even though it's private and you only limit it to certain people, okay, I'm kidding. Are there people online? That's why they had to put me on camera. Oh, you could have said that like 2 weeks ago, because I've been dodging the cam. Anyways, so I like breaking the fourth wall. Anyways, even though it's private, it doesn't. Even though you allow certain people to see what you post, it doesn't mean that they can do with that information what they want. Like even though like say like oh you if you put in like oh I go to let's say Everett High School and you put that on private, but other people that go to Everett can see that and they can do with it what they want. You don't know what they're going to do with it in a certain sense. Next. So, which is what I said, like information that you share in private doesn't stop them from using it. Next. Next. Okay. And also, the scary thing about the internet is someone always sees what you do. As in, someone is always watching what you're doing, basically. Because if you, I don't know if you guys remember from a couple of years ago, there was a whole NSA scandal, like basically Obama like spying on the whole nation. Uh, also, uh, social media networks, they basically keep a record of everything you do, right, Denzel? Yeah. And lost my train of thought. Thank you, Denzel. Yeah. So basically, you're always being watched. Everything that you post is recorded and it never goes away. Even if you delete it, someone has it, which is, yeah, so basically anything that you post or anything that you write online, no matter what it is, what you searched, what you looked at, what you clicked on, someone sees it, someone knows about it, someone's recording it, and they know about it. So, yes. Yep. If you post on Snapchat, they keep your stuff. Yep. By the way, all these social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, no matter what you post, what you write, what you share, even though it's deleted later, they still have it. Facebook still has your pictures. Snapchat still have the posts that you sent. Instagram still have the pictures that you post online. Because and also since you post it on their platform, they have every right to use it whatever they want to do with it. And that including sharing information to third party companies. Yeah. They still save it. And let me just put it this way. Shh. Let me just put it this way. The internet is not a private place. There's no such thing as privacy on the internet. Sure, it may be between you and whoever you're writing to, but there's always a third person watching. But we don't know about it. But at the same time, we do. But like we kind of pretend that it's not there, even though it is. Yeah. Hey, there you go. Yeah, so it can buy you in the at symbol dollar sign. I mean, you can spell it. Yeah. Is it a swear? It's not a swear word, is it? No, I don't think it is. It's just not polite. It's just not very polite to say. Yeah, there you go. So going back to, you guys ever watch that movie It Follows? It's a creepy movie. So basically, the internet, it's kind of like the concept of that movie. It follows. So whatever you write, whatever you do online, it follows you. Uh, when you guys graduate high school and you start looking for a job, it's depending on the place you go to work at. Those companies, they're going to do a social media background check on you. They can do, yep, and they can look up to 7 years of whatever you did online. Up to 7 years. So, and yes, next point. People have been fired for what they posted online. Yes. Well, no, it's not. It's not that big. All right. Shh. All right, guys. Relax. It's not like the government is watching. Well, actually, no, they are. But I'm not gonna lie. They are watching you, but they're not interested unless it's like unless you guys are doing like terrorist activities. I don't. I hope. But anyways, so next point. So we're gonna look at a couple posts that got people fired. Because once again, even though people think they're safe, they think they're private, they think no one's watching you, it comes and bite them in the behind. So, for example, this one was posted on, I think it was Twitter or Facebook or wherever. It says, I start my new job today, but I absolutely hate working at daycare. It was fired even before coming to work. Probably tweet, it didn't say what platform it was. But yeah, so basically, on the same day this person posted this, they got fired from their job. Like on the day that they were supposed to start, they already let them go. All right, next one. This is from a communications director based in New York. It says, going to Africa, hope I don't get AIDS. Just kidding, I'm white. This was via Twitter right before boarding on a plane to South Africa. And while he was on his flight, his tweet went viral. It got over 2,000 retweets, and this person got, or she actually, she got fired as soon as she landed on that plane because she tweeted this. Yeah. From what it says as soon as she landed, she got a call and got fired and was fired. All right, next one. This person, she posted nearly nude pictures of herself, and she wrote, "Watching a drug bust go down in the parking lot. It's funny because I have weed in my car in the staff parking lot." This is from a high school math teacher via Twitter. And by the way, and she admitted multiple times on Twitter that she's been getting high in the school parking lot. So once again, people do really stupid things because once again, she thought she was safe. She thought that the school can't do anything about it. She thought that nobody was seeing this. And then once again, it comes, it follows, it gets you. And this one is the probably the most famous one that I can think of in recent memory. Next one. Yo, if my son comes home and he tries to play with my daughter's dollhouse, I'm going to break it over his head and say in my voice, "Stop, that's gay." That's from Kevin Hart via Twitter 8 years before he got nominated to be the Oscar host. So apparently it was a joke. It was a joke. So once again, something he tweeted 8 years ago. Something that he said, something that he did, even though it was stupid, even though it wasn't right, he did it 8 years ago. And 8 years later, it came back and it got him. So not even somebody as prolific and famous and rich and successful as Kevin Hart is free from this. So in a sense, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. It gets you. You got to be very careful with what you write and what you post online. It gets you. Next. So that's one, which is what I'm going to get a little bit into cancel culture. Because what may be accepted today may not age well in the future. 8 years ago, which was like, I think it was like 2019. Yeah, it was 2019. So around 2011. So like I was a junior in high school. So yeah, so around that time, it was in a sense okay or acceptable to say gay jokes. Now it's very hard for people to make jokes about gay people like that anymore. Like you barely you see it on movies all the time, but like now like you don't see it at all. Like it's gone. And Kevin Hart came from a time that like, oh no, this was okay, this was funny, this is something that everybody laughed at. But you know, unfortunately, that joke that he tweeted 8 years ago didn't age well, and it came back and bit him in the bonkers. So next. And also, what's really dangerous and what's getting even worse is our political climate. We can get in trouble for the wrong political opinions. So, if the majority of your friends are liberals, it's kind of hard to be conservative. If the majority of your friends are conservative, it's kind of hard to be a liberal. It's and it's really funny how I guess I could say how dangerous politics is becoming today, right, Denzel? So, am I gonna have to move some people? I hope not, because that's like elementary school stuff. Thanks. It's how dangerous politics is becoming. In a sense, because back when I was a kid in high school, like people would have disagreements, but we wouldn't fight over politics. We wouldn't stop being friends over politics. Like, it was just like, you know, we had our differences, and that was that. But today, it's kind of like either you're with us or you're against us. And if you're not with us, then we can't be friends. We can't hang out. I've seen people who stop being friends or people posting, yo, if you voted for Trump, then we're not friends anymore. I'm unfollowing you. And if I remember correct, I hope it's not true, but I remember reading an article where a married couple got a divorce because of the 2016 election. Because I think the husband voted for Trump and his wife voted for Clinton, and they divorced over politics. I mean, that's what's going on. Uh, Also, celebrities who, if they express any sort of opinion that's unpopular, there's a whole Twitter mob that comes after them, making them apologize, even though how much of a genuine apology that is, if it's like forced, like he held at gunpoint. Like, apologize, or basically you're never going to work in Hollywood again. It's like that's basically what it is. And it's also possible to lose friendships over this. Not only you can lose your job, not only you can lose status or followers, but you can also lose friends. And that's like the scary part of how how much politics, how much cancel culture has taken over us. That unfortunately it's very difficult to find people coming from different places to sit down and share opinions and not break up or fight over it, you know, because apparently like no politics is life. It's like life and death. Like people protesting, rioting, or whatever's going on around the world. Like it's become dangerous, and it's something that I think like we should be mindful of and be careful of. So that's one of some of the dangers of social media, and there are others. Go. Um, a big one has been going on: cyberbullying. And the craziest thing about cyberbullying is because usually bullying, if it happens from person to person, usually you can avoid it, but just like going away, or you know who that person is, you know who's bullying you, you know who's attacking you. It's kind of like face to face. But now it's kind of like anonymous. They hide behind a screen. It can be anybody. You don't know where it's coming from. It's scary. Next point. Yeah, so usually, like I said, usually you can stop bullying, but just getting away from the situation. But unfortunately, it's very hard to hide from the internet unless you like grab your phone, chuck it in a lake, and go live in a log cabin. Like that's literally the only way. Next point. And also the worst thing about cyberbullying is that it's public and it attracts a lot of attention. Because usually a school bully, it's just like maybe there's like a small crowd of people, and like usually like the situation would end there, like a teacher would come in, break it up, or whatever. But on the internet, you could get hundreds or thousands of people to jump in, uh, and once again, it's kind of hard to hide from that. And it's also a lot more humiliating because instead of just a few or small crowd of people seeing it or knowing about it, now it's like your whole school is like it's in on it. Next. And going back to what I said earlier, what's posted online stays online. So anything that goes on, it never goes away. Even if you deleted it, even if you report it, someone has it. Someone's seeing it. Someone is recording it. Next. And it can be easily overlooked by teachers and parents because once again, if it happens in school, you can call a teacher or a guidance counselor or something, and the situation will be resolved. But on the internet, there's no internet police. There's no like teachers can't really do anything about it if it's happening outside of school. Well, they can do some things about it, but like they're really limited. There's only so much they can do, and there's not a lot of laws uh, against these kind of things, unless it's like death threats or things along those lines, and hate speech. But luckily there are ways around it, And the best thing you can do if you know somebody or you yourself are going through something like this, you know, is talk to your school. Don't engage in it. Don't write back. Don't post back because it's kind of like throwing fuel to the fire. It only makes it worse. Uh, uh, Blocking people, and if necessary, change your contact. You know, make a new profile, get a new email, if it's really that bad. Because I know, you know, some kids are ruthless, to put it lightly, and and I know what it's like to be bullied because that's something I went through when I was in middle school. But luckily, you know, when that happened to me, it was like during the early days of social media and wasn't anything like hundreds of people seeing it. Uh, but you know, thankfully, you know, I was able to deal with the situation. I grew from it. Like, stopped happening after like high school. Like, I got my act together. So, but if that's something that you know you guys go through, or something that you know other people that go through something similar like this, you know that's the best way to handle the situation. And finally, the really scary part about the internet: sexual predators. And the worst thing about the predator is it's most likely somebody you already know. Because we have this idea that these predators, they're like these strangers that hang around in parks and wait for kids to be alone and just kidnap you. Like, no. Statistically, if you're a victim of a predator, most likely it's somebody you already know. And and in the internet, it got so bad. It's actually really bad. There's a lot of creeps out there. Uh, on YouTube, YouTube used to have a kids section or channels that was dedicated to children. They're now required to disable the comment section because of so many predators that's going in and typing and trying to lure kids in. And if I'm not mistaken, I think TikTok attracted a lot of unwanted people. It got a lot of unwanted attention from people uh, along those lines. Also, predators may use fake profiles to approach you, or this is also known as catfishing. So basically, they'll pose to be somebody else. Uh, they can pretend to be a kid from your high school, even though they aren't, and they try to talk to you or try to gain your trust and try to approach you that way. And that's something to watch out for. Next. And some predators tend to groom their victims, gaining their trust over time before taking advantage of them. So uh, it's not unlikely that they will. Yes. Ah. But I mean, they're kind of one and the same because uh, a definition of a sugar dad is usually a guy who is much older with money who tries to attract younger girls to. But like a sugar daddy usually it's legal, like, because definitely, like I said, a sugar daddy usually it's an older guy with money or status who tries to attract a younger girl with his wealth. Usually, like, no, legally it has to be over the age of 18, and then that's not a problem. That's like, two consenting adults. But to go after minors, yeah, that's illegal. If you if a guy is clearly an adult and he's going after people under the age of 18, that's illegal. Well, you can't really sue them, but you can report them to the police. No. Why do you want it? Like, why do you? Okay, first of all, you're in danger, dude. I think it's more important that you be safe than getting money out of it. Like, but once again, but yeah, if there are people that are contacting you that's clearly an adult and they're going after people under the age of 18, yeah, that's illegal. And that's something to be careful. And if that's happening to you, you should report it, either to the social media platform or go to the police, because that's like borderline child pornography. Like, because yeah, yeah, no, it's serious. It's serious. It's bad. That's what's the term? Basically, it's soliciting a minor. Um, and also, and it happens more often than we think, because these predators, they're not as stupid as we think they are. Because, like I said, they tend to be older guys who are more experienced, and they know how to take advantage of not just girls, younger boys with like depression, self-esteem issues, and they know how to target those people and gain their trust. And they'll say things like, "Oh, don't talk to your parents. Like it's only between us." Like it's serious. Like it's bad. It is bad. So predators can also come from a place of power and influence. We were just talking about it just now. So in case you guys don't know who this is Shane Dawson. And Shane Dawson, he's one of the OGs of YouTube. Yeah. Yep, it's the same guy. Because yeah, Shane Dawson started YouTube in 2008. So, and then he's been on YouTube for 12 years. And recently, this year, there's been a lot of scandals about him over what he's done over the years that's been overlooked. Uh, that making inappropriate advances and comments towards teenage girls or teenagers under the age of 18. You guys can look at this on YouTube. He says some like really nasty stuff, and this is something that I'm going to get into next week. Uh, but but you got to ask yourself, how does a guy who has a public platform of over 12 years, only 12 years later is this stuff catching up to them? Only now people are calling him out for what he's done over the years. And I'm talking about like really nasty stuff. He's done really nasty stuff. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm going to talk about it next week, but you guys can look it up yourself on YouTube. And, and it's scary of what people like Shane Dawson and others can get away with. Yeah. No official documentaries, but on YouTube, yeah, there are people who are documenting this. There are people talking about it, people who's done like timelines of like everything that happened. So like all the information is on there. To us, no. uh, well, okay. One that comes to mind is like this one's a really minor one. I thought of one that was really bad, but I'm not going to get into it yet. Like next week, I'll get into it. But one was I think he was on Omegle, and he was video chatting with a 13-year-old girl, and he basically told her to start twerking for him. Like, there's a video on this. Like, literally, like all this stuff, videos of him doing it. Uh, there's also videos of him talking about sex with about a 13, 14-year-old girl, making really inappropriate comments. Right, Monique? Okay. Yeah. But monkey? No, I haven't. I'll I'll check that out. But um but yeah. So once again, predators can come from places of power and influence. People that we look up to, people that we respect, and people that we admire. And the reason why they get away with it for so long is because of their power and influence. And for the boys who are into video games, do you guys play Super Smash Brothers? But do you know about it? Okay. Yeah. But there's so basically Super Smash Brothers is a game for the Switch, Nintendo, and they tried to do, and there's professional gamers who play these games, and they go on tournaments, they get sponsored, they make money, and all that stuff. However, there's a recent incident where a lot of these professional gamers, they've been caught with hooking up with minors, like bringing kids into their hotel rooms when they go to tournaments. You know, pictures. Like there's even text messages between these gamers and like these teenage girls or these teenage boys, and like a lot of like it's not just like a couple of guys. It's a lot of them, a lot of them. So and that's also something that you can look up on YouTube and check out for yourself. So once again, like it's serious. You may not think it's these kinds of people, but you know, like it's the people that you least expect that does these kinds of things. Next. So basically, my advice for everybody is it's probably best if you're going to communicate online, just communicate with people that you know personally. Even though, like, you might get added by somebody, oh, he goes to my school, or we have mutual friends. Like, if you don't really know this person, it's probably best, like, not to talk to them. Yeah, that's part of catfishing. Dude, they lie. They can lie about their age. So, what are you saying? Like, yeah, you can get in trouble for that too. Like, for minors can get in trouble for that as well. Yeah, dude, they both will. Like, the thing is, it's like the thing is, it all comes down to uh, whether a someone discovers them, like someone, like say for example, a teenager lies about their age, and they talking to someone that they clearly know is older, and they're exchanging messages or pictures or whatever, and then that teenager's parents find out about these messages. Their parents, they can report to the police, and like you know they can get in trouble. Or if a usually the smart thing is a teenager would first of all they wouldn't be talking to someone like that, and two, if it does happen to someone, if you're being approached by people like that, it's best if you either ignore them, report them. It depends on how serious it is. Uh, that one I need to double check on that, but usually, yeah, I need to double check on that. I'll get back to you on that. Yeah. For a minor, I think if I remember, either they have to pay a fine or probably juvie or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is. I need to double check. Is there questions up here? I saw some hands going up. No, no. So yeah, once again, internet is a scary place. There's a lot of creeps, and you need to be careful. So to conclude, I like to read Ephesians 5:15 through 17. It says, "Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand the will of the Lord is." So, Ephesians 5, the days are evil. If it was evil 2,000 years ago, still evil today. Probably even worse. Who knows? Actually, no, back then it was pretty bad. It was very bad. But it hasn't gotten any better. Let's just say that. And what I want you guys to get out of this is, you know, be smart. Remember, I always say, you guys are smart, but not as smart as you think you are. Because there are people out there that are smarter than us, stronger than us, has been around longer than us, and they know how to get to us. They know how to attack your insecurities. They know how to gain your trust. They know how to use you. And when you're online on the internet, especially as Christians, keep your guard up because there are things, there are people, and ideas that are there to, in a sense, take over us. And it's our responsibility for us to make the wise choice and not fall for these traps and not be fooled. So that's my message for tonight. So any last questions, thoughts, curiosities that you guys want to say? Yes? No? All right. So Anthony, do you have announcements? All right. Sunday we got church at 8 and 11. So you can just two services. 10. There's a service at 10 and one at 11:15. All right. And anything else? We Gucci? All right, we Gucci. All right. So I'm gonna close us off in prayer. So Father God, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for this opportunity that you've given us for us to come together to learn more about you, to have our minds and our hearts open to your will. Help us become wise and prepared as Christians with things that we write, things that we see, people that we follow, that you can give us the discernment to make the right choices in our lives. Deliver us from evil. Let us not fall into these traps and being manipulated and used. Protect us, Father, throughout the week as we close off this social media series next Friday. Thank you so much for everything that you've done to us. Thank you for your love and the mercy and the grace that you have given us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. All right, you guys are dismissed. Thank you very much. Come get your phones.